Greetings, people of Earth. Welcome back. My name's Jax, and today we're talking about playing to your strengths. So, again, this was just, I was listening to a conversation and somebody said, you got to play to your strengths. And I said, what an interesting phrase that we use in our language. So, today we're going to talk about it. I think it's obviously good advice, like if you're particularly good at something, if you excel in a certain field or a skill or you have a talent for something, it's really good to play to that. And I think we see that really kind of in everything you think of. Like politicians play to their strengths by being really slimy and charismatic and being able to like weasel their way out of lies and stuff like that. If you're really good at math, maybe you play to your strength and you become an accountant, or I don't know. It seems to be kind of the natural progression of humans to really play to their strengths. Child prodigies become musical maestros, and people who have skill on social media can make that work for them, right? So it is a very interesting concept to play to one's strengths. And generally it's just like if you're good at something, do well at it. And that doesn't necessarily mean to like monetize it. Like if you're particularly good at something, you don't have to make money out of it. You can just enjoy doing it. I really love gardening and baking, and many times people in my life have said like, why don't you like make a living out of it? Like make a business, or like, sell your own strawberry jam or whatever. But I'm not interested in that. It's a thing I love to do, and I don't want to necessarily make money from it. I'm happy to play to my strength and enjoy it, but strength doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, you have to monetize this, or you have to exploit your talent or use this skill in order to make money. I think we are really quick in our society to like jump to that being the first thing you think of, like, oh, he's really good at baseball, let's make him a pro baseball player. Our society has like a habit of sort of doing that to people and forcing them into things that they, playing to their strength. And that can be a problem for two reasons, because you might be really good at something, but you're not passionate or you don't enjoy it, right? So for example, I'm fairly good at mathematics. If you sit me down and you show me what I'm supposed to do, or, like I can figure out generally what I need to do when it's like a mathematical equation or anything like that. But I do not like math. I don't enjoy it. It's not something that I enjoy at all. And so, there have been people in my life, like math teachers particularly, who are like, man, you could do really well at this. And I want nothing. I want no part of that. It's the same with like drawing or any of those kinds of things. Like I can do them, but to sit down at a desk and just draw for a few hours, like I don't really enjoy that. Like I'm sorry to everybody who loves drawing, but it's not my cup of tea, really. And so that can be an issue. The other issue can be you play to your strengths, and then you create a career or you develop something that you're going to do long term, and then you hate doing it. So, you push the baseball prodigy into baseball, and they actually don't like baseball. They don't enjoy it. It's not something that has been fun for them. All of the fun of it was taken out of it because they were pushed into it. I know lots of people who played piano or who did various things, and they were really good at those things. But because of how they were pushed and sort of more than just encouraged into whatever they were doing, they absolutely despised it. My grandmother was a good example of that. She did all of her grades in piano, all of the different steps you have to do to become an incredibly high-ranking piano player. She did all of that. Her mother pushed her into all of that. And my grandmother hasn't played piano in probably 40 or 50 years, won't touch it, doesn't like it, likes to listen to it, but is not interested in playing for anybody. And, she was just pushed into it, and she didn't have her heart in it, So you have to be careful when you're playing to your strengths, or you're trying to encourage someone to play to their strengths, because that can be such a frustrating thing to see somebody with such innate talent and innate skill not wanting to do anything with it. Like Like I enjoy archery, and people have said, oh, like, have you ever thought of doing competitions? And I'm like, no, I'm not interested. I don't want to be pushed into this thing, even if I'm like, I don't even think I'm that good, but even if I was good at it, I wouldn't want to be pushed into something that I'm not interested in doing. I don't want to make money out of it, or I don't want to like compete basically from it. I don't know how much money you can make out of archery, but yeah, I'm not interested in that. And I have had like several different discussions with people, typically like older family members who say things like, well, you're wasting your talent, And I don't see it that way, and you shouldn't either. If you have a specific talent or a skill that you really enjoy and you like playing to your strength in that regard, don't let anybody like force you or like commit you into something you don't want to do, because it's like the whole point of it is to enjoy it, and the whole point of it is to have enjoyment out of what you do, and have pride in a skill that you have. It's really nice to have a skill that very few people have, and it doesn't always have to make money. It doesn't always have to achieve great things. There's lots of things where you can just enjoy it for yourself or enjoy it for your friends and family. It's interesting that like I think it was the Lord of the Rings, like Tolkien, the guy who wrote Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I don't think he ever had like a real intention of publishing The Hobbit. And really it was just a bedtime story for his children. And it wasn't until somebody like kind of sort of insisted that he publish them that, they were published. I mean, thank goodness they were, because they're great stories. But Tolkien never intended for that to be what it ended up becoming, and he didn't live long enough to see like the craziness that it is now. But, he was playing to his strengths, and he was just writing lovely little stories for his children, like to go to bed and listen to. So you don't necessarily have to have this incredible drive. If you do, that's awesome. Play to your strength, you gotta use what you were given, and, shake what your mama gave you, and basically just like enjoy what you do. But the minute it becomes unenjoyable, I think that's the moment to like turn around and say, nope, this is just for me. This is mine. I like this. This is my, private little joy. I like making cocktail drinks. I like writing. I like whatever I like doing. And I will not have this taken from me. I'm just going to enjoy my little world and what I like to do, because we all have strengths and interests and hobbies. And every single I'm pretty convinced that every single skill, hobby, strength can be monetized in some way, but you really don't have to. A lot of people have asked if I would ever do like personal training and like help people bodybuild and things like that. Like I go to the gym every day. I'm like very regimented in my life, but the gym is like a personal passion of mine. I'm not really interested in monetizing it. It's not something that I'm like, oh yeah, like I should be making money out of this and like using my body as like an example of why I should be someone's personal trainer. I'm not interested in that. Like I'm interested in positivity and making people feel good, and helping the overthinkers maybe think a little bit less and just enjoy life and live in the present. But I don't want to monetize or do bodybuilding or personal training for a living or anything like that. If somebody wants advice, I'm happy to give it, but I'm not going to charge for those kinds of conversations or like those kinds of things, So I don't know. There's always something that you can monetize, and everybody has a strength. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't have any talent. And that's always a lie. That's always a lie, because you will be inherently interested in things. And by just being interested in things, you will develop skills and hobbies and knowledge about the things you're interested in that make you better than everybody else at whatever you're doing. So I really like, it always hurts me when I hear somebody say like, oh, I don't have any skills, or like, I don't have any interests. It's like, you do. You just need to develop them into something that you can really enjoy, like maybe it's astrology. Maybe you're really into that and you want to like do astrology for people. People pay to have their astrological charts read and their horoscopes and their fortunes, and people pay for that. And so if you develop a skill and develop the ability to do that and to, be able to give people what they want, then great, do what you want to do. But don't feel like you have to monetize something. Don't feel like you have to exploit it or use it. Exploit is kind of a bad word in this, because really you're just embracing whatever you like to do, and whether you make money from it or you just enjoy it yourself, or you share it with your friends and family, or you just share it online, that's up to you. And so, when I say exploit, like don't think of it in that way, because that makes me think of like exploiting the natural resources for your own personal gain, which you're not doing. These are your inherent gifts and talents and skills, and you get to decide exactly how you use them. And if you are somebody who is a mentor or a parent or a instructor or professor, I really advocate that your students, your children, whatever sort of impressionable mind you're engaging with, I really hope that you don't force the impressionable mind to exploit or use or develop their talents further than they would want themselves. If you see like oh, maybe your son is like really good at basketball, like really like allow them to enjoy that and love it. But like nowadays you see so many parents and so many teachers pushing so hard on young people that they have to develop this skill, and they're never going to get anywhere in life unless they like develop this and they do this. Just step back for a second, okay? Like, it's not healthy and it's not good. And like I said, you might destroy the child's love or the student's love of whatever they're doing. And you might end up like my grandmother, who hasn't touched the piano in 50 years. She loves the piano. She thinks it's a beautiful instrument, but she's not interested whatsoever in touching the keys. And it's a bit of a shame, because her mother, my great-grandmother, like pushed her into it so hard. So I don't know, just think mindfully about it. Play to your strengths when it works for you. Shake what your mama gave you if you want to, and if you truly love what you do, then absolutely embrace that. But for the love of all that is holy, don't force anything. Just keep working on it and have a beautiful life. That's what it is. Playing to your strengths. At the end of the day, it all comes back to just enjoying life and being able to do the things that you love to do, the things that you're good at doing, in order to have a beautiful life and to enjoy what you do. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Play to your strengths today. Enjoy what you do. Embrace the chaos. Innovation is always caused by disruption. So yeah, I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.